And aloha! Welcome to the BlueNote Fan Report. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and I'm your host on the only program that is by a fan, for the fan, and absolutely about you, the fan.
So are you Guy or Guy?
Ed Danowski.
You're not in Hawaii?
I wish.
To Mr. Gary Younger.
Hi, Guy.
Hey, sir, how are you?
And Brock, how are you doing?
Doing great, sir. Doing great. Honored to have you on the show.
You know, I had the privilege while I was in the forces, in the Canadian Armed Forces, to take the Stanley Cup to Afghanistan. Only hockey fans would deploy to Afghanistan where it's 105 to 135 degrees every day, and they'd take their hockey sweaters and play ball hockey. This is a year for the Leafs. The Leafs are going to win it all this year. One of the players down the line said, "You got to be kidding. The Taliban got a better chance of winning the cup."
Hawaii Blues fan, we're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues!
I forgot. Aloha! Welcome to the BlueNote Fan Report. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan. We're brought to you today by Forrest Grump Enterprises, Mike Zook Coffee, or Mike Zook Enterprises, and War Story Coffee. Oh man, I'm having a good day. I got to bring in my friends because we're having a good day. Guys, do you know what's up? Right? Brock, you know a little bit about what's happening today. Jeremy doesn't. Man, yeah. I'm telling you, I'm excited, man. This week we have had our fourth best week since we've started, and we're climbing up to being in the best week since we started. Right?
Dang.
Back in March when you released when we released the article about Bomeister, right?
Yep.
That one, you know, hit 1,000 views really quick. So that was like our best day ever, right? But we haven't gotten near that day. But for the week, we are climbing. We are averaging 275 views this week every day.
Nice.
Right?
Wow, that's awesome,
we're
man.
hitting. And you know what? It comes on this, and Brock, I gotta hand it to you. You're the one that got this going, and you said, why not re-release something? Well, I did, and it caught on. So I re-released something else, and it caught on, and we're catching on. And I re-released Ed Stanowski's article. Okay. Ed Stanowski, when we released that article, got 31 views up until yesterday.
Wow.
31 views up until yesterday. As of right now, I mean, this is going to blow your mind. Are you ready for this, bud?
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm pulling it up so you can see the numbers. Wrong. I hit the wrong button. Damn it. Okay, guy, hit the right button. Here we go. Okay. So we released that article on April 27th, right? Late night. So the 28th. Up until that point, 33 views. I re-released it last night. 297 views.
That's awesome, man.
297
Wow.
views.
Awesome.
That story, and it's still climbing. It's been shared 20 times, has been increased 34,550%. That's just one story, right? I re-released a couple other stories. They've done really well. I'm sitting there looking at the numbers today, guys, and they're spectacular, right?
Awesome.
I mean, it's not okay. It's spectacular for us. Some of these big websites are going to go, that's nothing. You know, they get that in 30 minutes. Okay,
Right.
but we're not a big website. We're a small, growing website, right? And that's what's important, growing. And the growing part is what is exciting me, right? And I know we're a hockey show, but sometimes you got to talk about the things that get you going. And when you can sit there and with all we do, and Brock, you and me talk daily now, and you know how much I put into this. And when it doesn't perform, how I feel, right? I take it I take it personally, like I did something wrong, right? And that's hard, but some people do it that way.
But one thing I was able to get you to realize is that, these things just have different lives, and sometimes it depends on when you release it. And again, now we're into the playoffs, and we're getting a lot more. We have more people that we're sharing with and stuff. So,
this right here, you can see this, right? This is today. 324 views. This is up till today, 3:00 my time. So it goes to midnight my time, right? 324 views, 324 visitors, 384 views. So 324 people have looked at 384 pages. That's the only negative here. The views per visitor is 1.19. Our view per visitor usually sits around 1.3, right? I've had it as high as 2.0. I think 1.5. I know I've had it near 2.0. But we average about 1.3. So that concerns me a little bit. But you go back to the week itself, right?
Okay.
I'm going there now because I want people to see this, because this is important. This is what drives this show. This is what you're doing. Your word of mouth, you helping, you sharing things. You're driving this. This was back in March when we had a couple really good days, right?
Yep.
Well, we slacked off, and then all of a sudden we start showing this growth. And you look at here today, our views per visitor are 1.42. The best week they were 1.52, right? 2391 for.
I like
for
the full
page
number.
views.
I like
Actually,
the number of views so far this week, 1776. Kind of fitting, with it. It's Memorial Day, and
I mean, they're good numbers, guys.
Oh yeah,
and that's what's important to talk about. And hey, Fort Spreek, what's up, man? How you doing? Welcome to the show. We're going to talk hockey here in a bit. Going full YouTube mode. Absolutely. Well, yes, we are. And the reason for that is Facebook has been a needle in my chair. And every time I turn around, someone is saying that I'm spamming. So first I couldn't post. Now I can't do lives. What's next? I'm going to get blocked completely. They're hampering my business model, right? And I'm sorry if you're a free platform like they are, I'm going to use it to my advantage, right? If you're gonna sit there and and you want me to pay, that's fine. I get that. But right now, I've actually paid for post in for the I have the page, the BlueNote Fan Report. I paid for that, but it failed. I didn't see any increase. I seen decreases actually, right? It was all fake. Everything that went to me was fake. Well, T says she didn't get an announcement. I'm sorry. We're going to try. Sports Freak, this is Josh. Miss you on Facebook. We'll continue support here. Josh, I don't mind being on Facebook, but I'm sorry that the continued problems I'm having doesn't help when that's your main support. You've got to branch out on the other ones, right? Yeah. So I'm on 2 Twitter channels today. I'm on the STL Fan Report Twitter channel, and I'm on Hawaii STL Blues Fan Twitter channel, right? So you guys can share either one of those out. Twitter, we do okay. We don't do great. We don't get a lot of long-term views on Twitter. YouTube, we get long-term views. Facebook, we get long-term views. We're just going to have to figure out a way to get everyone who was watching on Facebook to move to this, right? And we'll keep going. We also got, and Jeremy, I want to talk to you about this offline. I'm going to need your help on something.
Okay.
We've got the audio channel that's coming up, right?
Okay.
It's starting to go, but unfortunately, it's just too much for me. So I'm going to actually give you access to that, Jeremy. So when I upload an audio,
the Anchor site.
Yeah,
you're gonna love it.
Okay.
It's awesome, dude.
so
Cool.
I'm going to give you access to the Anchor site and show you how to cut them up so we can put the ads in there.
Yeah.
But we need to do that. So I can't. It's just too much for me. And then trying to get them all shared in all the right places and all that. It is. It's become too much for me, and I apologize with that. But hey, enough of that. I just spent 10 minutes gloating, and now it's time to talk about hockey. And we got two really good games going on today.
Really good games, man.
Oh my goodness! Can we talk?
What just happened?
Oh no, nothing. I'm just saying these games are so good. Can we talk about the tweet I sent out? The national anthem sung by the Canadian fans back in the stadium or back in arena. It was just, it brought tears to my eyes because this is the sign that we've all been looking for, that hockey is coming back to normal.
Yeah,
when Canada started getting back fans, now we can clearly see
that was really bad with you seeing all them games up in Canada and nobody in the stands.
Exactly.
Right. I'll tell you one thing that I don't like about these playoffs, though, as fans are coming back, you're still hearing canned noise.
Yeah.
Right. And that's, hey, Lance, how you doing, bud?
Hey.
How are you?
Up?
Hey, man, did you get to see what I was talking about with how the site's doing?
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's good news, right?
Yeah, it's good news.
Right. And moving to YouTube, I know it's a risk, but it's something I got to do. The problems that we're having on Facebook just don't, they don't go to a good business model.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the reason that you have had more success on Facebook than Twitter. Facebook has more of a median age of 35 to 60 years old. Twitter's got more of a 15 to 30 type of a viewer range, but I think eventually you'll do much better on Twitter and YouTube than you will on Facebook. It may take some time, but I'm sure you will, because I've never had any success on Facebook at all. I mean, I get 66,000 views and downloads per audio episode, and hardly none of them come from me putting them on Facebook.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. I get nothing from Twitter. Well, actually, I'm starting to get some Twitter hits. I really am starting to get some Twitter hits. I've seen that, and we can go over numbers later. I really want to sit down with you and Brock and go over all these numbers and stuff to make sure I understand what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the right stuff. But, it's all, we're moving in the right direction. And that's what I want people to understand. Sure. We're not going away. Just because the Blues are gone, we're not going away. This site, this conglomeration is continuing. We are friends that like to talk about hockey. There's some great hockey going on right now. It is nothing going into the third in the second intermission on the Toronto-Montreal game. And the last I looked, the Islanders Boston was 1-1. Oh, it's 1-1 now.
Should be 1-0 Habs if Cole Caulfield wouldn't have hit that freaking post, man.
Yeah.
Hey, first of all, I want to say, Lance, good to see you. I'm surprised you got time to come see us, because I know you're cooking the numbers as fast as you can for your Twitter feed tomorrow.
I'm cooking them.
You're cooking the Blues statistics to make sure they look good.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Hey, all I do is bring out, they won this many games in April, which was 4. They won this many games in May, and I get told that I'm using the numbers wrong, that I'm lying to people. And I'm like, this is how many games they won out of this many games. I'm not saying anything about ties, shootout points, OT points, whatever. I'm just saying this is how many games they won and how many they lost. And people are just up and down. Oh, Lance just doesn't understand it. He doesn't get it. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Oh, we get it.
Oh no, we get it, Lance. I get where you're coming from. I do. I just, I know what your thought process, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday, was whether or not the Blues should stand pat, and you thought they should stand pat. I should not have stood pat. I'm sorry, I got that wrong.
At the trade deadline.
At the trade deadline, that they should have they should have made the trades. I'm backing up that because I think you're going to end up getting Bortuzzo and Hoffman out of standing pat. I really do. I have this feeling, and I don't have any inside information. I don't. I wish I did.
Are you talking about Robert Bortuzzo?
No, not Bortuzzo. Bozak.
I mean, Bozak, like you said, would be a good fourth line center if you can get him for the right money. But
you're going to get Bozak for 2.5 to 3. I can see it.
Three's too much.
You're gonna give him a little bit of a hometown bump. I can see that. You're not going to take him way down. You're going to reward him a little bit for his camaraderie and what loyalty.
Here's my problem with Bozak. He does nothing all year, and then when you get in the playoffs, he starts showing up a little bit more. And he's a 35-year-old guy. Hey, fine, signing. I have no problem with him signing. Put him on the fourth line. Do not take away third line minutes. Don't be thinking about putting him on the second line to shake things up. Keep him on the fourth line. Sign him to 1 year, not 2, not 3, 1. If they sign him to more than 1 at $3 million, somebody should really have Doug Armstrong go talk to Sigmund Freud and sit on his couch and say, hey, Doug, tell me about your mother. And then we'll find out what the issues are.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta answer this quote. I gotta respond to this comment. I followed Hockey Guy on YouTube for a couple of years now, and his subscriber numbers have skyrocketed. I believe yours can too, guy. Well, here's my problem. My numbers are never going to skyrocket like him because I can never be that freaking boring. I will never, ever be that freaking boring. I cannot do what he does. How can he have 100,000 subscribers plus?
If I'm not mistaken, he's
with
in
a whiteboard.
He's in Canada, isn't he?
Vancouver.
Vancouver, yeah. That's what I thought.
Vancouver,
he was
Washington area.
Well,
yeah.
That's why he's so boring, because the Canucks are the most boring team in the NHL.
I'm gonna tell you something, and if there's any Canadians listening to this, I mean no disrespect. I'm just being honest.
Mm-hmm.
If I started a Flames podcast or a Canucks podcast or a Canadians podcast, it would be much more successful than our two shows combined.
Oh,
just
yeah,
because
I'm sure
the people up there are just rabid for hockey. And that's why, and people, hey, I've watched some of his stuff when it has to do with the Blues and scenarios, but I'm not a frequent watcher of his. He does have a niche audience, and hey, I wish him the best. There are a lot of people that love him. I don't hate him, but it's like you said, you don't understand why people like that format of the whiteboard and the names and this referee made this call on this day, and I understand that.
Yeah, he's absolutely boring. He's monotoned. He's got cats running around. I'm sorry. Cats running around.
The only thing I don't like about his comments is when he rips people for buying Chinese knockoff jerseys. Because
I haven't seen that.
Yes, every chance he gets, he does. And he'll go, I do not buy Chinese knockoff jerseys. And if you do, you're not a true NHL fan. These jerseys are only $200 or $189. Everybody can afford them. I'm sorry, Hockey Guy. Not everybody can afford them.
Not everybody's making $100,000 a month, sitting there being as boring as you are. I get it.
I didn't say he was boring. Guy said you were boring.
No, I did say he's boring, and I'll stick with that. Oh,
what's wrong with cats? I just had mine.
You just got off because you mentioned cat. Oh, Guy's frozen now.
Yeah, I know. I'm coming back. There we
staring
go.
At the cats.
Yeah, it was my internet. Sorry about that. Yeah, you and your cat. I seen that. No, and look, I mean, it's not that I don't like the guy. I mean, he's informational. I'll give that to him.
He does give a lot of information.
Very, very informational.
Yes, he is.
However, I can't stand that you A, can't read the whiteboard, and B, that Brock's got an army going on there, or Jeremy does. Yeah. It just feels like he's talking to the wall. The Blues scored 2 goals today. Vladimir Tarasenko got one of them. It was a kind of a good rush.
But you know
the
what?
other one.
I'm going to tell you guys something. And hey, no. I'm with Lance. Don't throw stones, man. That guy's done quadruple the business that we'll ever do. So
I don't mean to throw stones. I don't mean to throw stones.
Guy, you've got a niche, and he's got a niche. Some people like his niche. Some people like your niche. Some people don't like his niche, and some people don't like your niche. It's he's not my favorite, but I do watch him from time to time.
Oh yeah, no. Like I said, I have nothing against him. It's just it's not my stuff. I follow him just to make sure to see what he's putting out, but that's it. Guy's got 100,000 followers. I've got 594, and I'm going up and down between 94 and 96 all month. So I just do what I can. So yeah, he's got the right thing going. I don't, but this is me, and this is what I'm going to be. So you know what? And I do want to get back to what we were talking about standing pat, right? The reason that I think standing pat was the right decision, and you guys all have a right to argue with me or discuss with me, is I think that you're going to get out of the same, you're going to get more out of standing pat than you would have with the trades. I think with the trades, you might have gotten second and third rounds.
Time out. I know Jeremy's watching this game and he's freaking out. So you gotta cut your camera or something, dude, because you're distracting us all, man.
I'm good.
What game are you?
I'm watching the Bruins in the Isles, and
what's going on in it?
The Islanders just had a grade A scoring chance if I think it was Clutterbuck would have put the puck on his stick. He had a wide open net. Rask was out of position. It was all bad.
Yeah, but they got a power play.
I just seen it.
Power play.
I just seen it. Yeah, they just showed it. Yeah,
right here. Oh, it was a good stick by.
Well, you know what? There's another thing that we'll talk about here a little bit later today is this Eichel rumor that won't go away. I'm working on an article about it. Wow, man. This one, I'm sorry. I will never, ever think that Eichel is what they want for Eichel and what it costs you to get him is worth it. There is no way, right? But let me go back to what I was.
You'll get a team that will take him.
Get Jack Eichel.
Hold on.
Okay.
No. I want to ask Brock a question.
Okay.
Is Jack Eichel better than, and this is not one player combined, Thomas, Sundqvist, and who was the other person I read in that really crappy article?
Vince Dunn. Vince Dunn.
Right? Is Eichel better than those three players combined?
Yes.
Vince Dunn doesn't play. Kind of the last man out, so kind of wrap him off. Robert Thomas kind of had a down year. Got to admit, I think he will be a superstar.
He was injured. He broke his wrist.
I got it, dude. But I'm just telling you,
Eichel was injured with a neck injury.
Okay. Well, how's
he didn't come back?
They still have no idea how serious that neck injury is. In fact, the Buffalo doctor said that they would not recommend it because they're too afraid it's going to cause damage. And I'm going to tell you something. And if anybody wants to think I'm lying and that I'm going to say it, shit, I'm sorry. But, O'Reilly goes, he's been asked about Eichel several times and he gives the politically correct answer. And I'm going to tell you one thing. When O'Reilly was ticked about them not winning, do you know who had a problem with O'Reilly being ticked for them not winning? It was Mr. Jack Eichel. That's who had a problem with him being upset with not winning. And now all of a sudden, a couple of years later, Jack Eichel's upset with not winning. I'm going to tell you guys, we don't want him. You don't want to give up 2 first-round picks, Robert Thomas, and I think another pick or another player for him. He's got 5 years left of a $10 million contract. The only way I think of it is a first round, Robert Thomas, and maybe another player, and then Buffalo pays $6 million of his salary for the last 5 years. If it's anything, less than more than that, no.
Here's what I want to say because you guys let me say about Robert Thomas, but you didn't say why I like Jack Eichel.
Okay, why do you like Jack Eichel? Let's okay, that's fair enough. Let's bring that out.
And I think
why
that the Blues. Okay.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Let you finish, man.
Okay, well, I was trying to even get you started, and you were. Go ahead. You tell us why you like Jack Eichel.
So, but what I feel like the Blues need is they need to get some star power, and they need to get some star potential or star power back into the lineup. I think that's what's going on. Is that the team they're boring and they're stale, and I think, as I've said many times, we have overvalued their players. I think that we have a fascination with Jaden Schwartz. I don't know that any other team has the same fascination with Jaden Schwartz, paying him a bunch of boatload of money that we do. So for me, I think Jack Eichel, he's a superstar, he's an all-star. He comes in. I think that he brings immediate focus to the franchise and that he's a marquee player. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I want to say something about Schwartz real quick. You know, that quote by Armstrong that said, you know, we talked and we told him where we're going and we've got some time to make this decision, you know, until the end of July. No, you don't. You need to decide right now. And when he went into that office, Schwartz told him what he wanted, and that's why Armstrong said, we're going to look at where we need to be and so on and so forth. Schwartz is not coming back to this team. And I know for a fact there's at least 2 or 3 teams that will give him $6 million a year for 3 to 4 years.
Man.
And two of them are East Coast teams.
Okay. Hold on a second, guys. I want to bring something up. I'm trying to pull it up here real quick. Okay. So Jack Eichel is the 13th highest paid player in the league. Yep. I want you to tell me if he's better than the following players. You ready? Tyler Seguin.
Sagan?
Yeah, Sagan.
That's a toughie.
Nope, he's not. He's not.
Alexander Ovechkin.
Nope.
No.
Jamie Benn.
Nope.
No.
Nikita Kucherov.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Mark Stone.
Yes.
No.
I think no.
No.
Andrei Vasilevsky.
Hell no. Sorry.
Okay. Evgeny Malkin.
No.
Yes.
Mikko Rantanen.
Yes.
No. Not Rantanen?
Yeah, really? I think he's a little better. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit.
I'm
Nicholas Backstrom
on the same level with him.
Nicholas Backstrom. See, the only thing is Eichel's so young. He's only 23 or 24.
Okay, but I'm trying to make a point here. All those guys that I just named off are the 14th through 24th in salary. All of those guys are getting paid less than Jack Eichel. My issue with Eichel comes down to this. He does not come anywhere close to earning his $10 million salary. He played 21 games, scored 18 points this season, and has a neck injury that we do not know whether or not it is
serious.
It is going to be healed.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry. I have to fight this.
That's my only issue with him too. And I don't know anything. I don't know about his neck injury, but we remember Peyton Manning's neck injury, and I know Peyton Manning was older, but he had two years after that, and only one was decent when he won the Super Bowl. And with those neck injuries, Brock, you just don't know if they could work the deal right to where the Blues aren't strapped with all of that $10 million, where they get a Buffalo to take a lot of it, and the Blues don't have to give up more than one good guy like a Thomas or somebody like that. I've got no problem. I've got no problem with getting rid of Robert Thomas. I really don't. Kyrou, I would. Kyrou, I'd have a huge problem.
Okay, yeah, I would too.
Well,
if they would give up Thomas, a first rounder, and let's say a second round next year after that, and a player, Sanford, I would jump in a heartbeat.
Well, the thing that I would say, just real quick, I want to jump in real quick before you jump in, is that I'm getting a little concerned with the talk about draft picks, because, again, I think we had such success a few years ago with, Schwartz, Tarasenko, all those guys being draft picks that we developed. Well, now that train is kind of dried up a little bit, so I think that we need to keep replenishing that sort of bucket. So I think, these talks of, let's give up our first-round draft pick, I'm not sure I'm really ready for that, but again, it takes something to get something. But I just am not so eager to dump our first round draft.
But Brock, I want you to go back, and I'm sure you saw this tweet. Go back 10 years and look at the number one draft picks, or look at the first round draft picks where the Blues normally pick, because the Blues are normally a good team. Let's say 17 to 30th. Yeah, 17 to 30. Let's just say that. Somewhere in that 17 to 27. See how many of them are still in the NHL, how many of them ever made the NHL, and how many of them never made the NHL. Just because he's a first-round draft pick doesn't mean he's going to be good.
Well, you know what?
I did actually.
I think there's a good case in point here, and it's one of our own. Was Tage Thompson? When Tage Thompson was drafted, in that really deep first round with all the St. Louisans in it, the 5 St. Louisans that got picked in the first round. Everyone said that we got Thompson and he was a steal where we got him.
I didn't. I never said
well, most
that.
people did. Well, most people thought we picked Thompson up because they had dropped. They thought he had dropped a little bit.
He did.
And you can thank Tage Thompson for having Ryan O'Reilly or Jason Botterill, one of the two.
But Thompson is in Buffalo now, and he's not shining there. He's playing for Team USA now, right? In the Worlds. He's 6'6", and he's not the big guy that needs to be a center. He's just not it. That size is hurting him.
Let's hold up for a second. So first of all, Tage Thompson is still in the NHL. He's been in the NHL for 4 years. So he's played some
3 years. 3 years.
But again, with St. Louis, he wasn't great. Like he had 3 goals and 6 assists. I mean, in 41 games. So it wasn't like he was lighting things on fire in St. Louis. So
no, but that's what I'm saying.
He does still play.
But that's what I'm saying. The area that we pick
can't count him as a bust. He's still playing though.
Yeah, you can count him as a bust because if people said he was going to be great and he's averaging 3 goals a year, I would say that's a bust, even after 3 years.
He's
Thompson's
4 years. I mean, what?
Yeah, but in those 4,
hey, Patrick Berglund was in the league for a long time, and look at that.
Yeah,
you know where I'm coming from on that.
Bring up
for Thompson, yes, he's been in the league 4 years, but in those 4 years, how many times has he been in Rochester?
I don't know, man. A couple of times, I'm sure.
At least 50% of the time.
Exactly. 50% of the time, if not more.
Hey, everybody, this is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, coming to you live on Facebook. Can't remember where we're live. Coming to you live on Twitter and YouTube. We are having a very lively discussion because we're being brought to you today by Forrest Crump Enterprises, Mike Zook Enterprises, and War Story Coffee. Check out stlfanreport.com for more information and some great articles and videos and interviews that you may have missed.
Guy, I knew we were sponsored by Forrest Crump, so I figured I would be a grump. So that's why I did that.
There you go. We don't mind. We don't mind. See, this is good conversation, though. This is exactly the conversation that needs to be had that doesn't get had in mainstream media, right? And I'm not bagging anybody. I'm just saying that when we put this audio out, when this video is available, it is something that people can really latch onto about what we're talking about, right? Bubba says if he takes a pay cut and gets rid of a couple players and a first and a second round pick, I say yes, take him. I just right now, here's my problem. He's not worth 4 players. He's not. You know what he's worth? A 1-to-1. He's worth a 1-to-1 because of that contract. That contract is so crappy. Whoever takes it has got a $7.5 million what do you call it? $7.5 million signing bonus that you have to pay him. That signing bonus counts double to your salary cap.
Yeah, but here's the one positive I want to say about the guy. My main concern is don't give up too much for him. Make Buffalo pay a lot of his salary, and I don't have a problem with him. My concern is his neck injury. What did he score last year or 2 years ago, Brock? 36 goals. There's not a lot of guys in the league that can score that many goals.
Yeah.
He's
at $10 million, he should be scoring a hell of a lot more than 36 goals.
Okay. Oh, okay, but he scored 36 goals at $10 million. But you made a point earlier in the year that what was I going to say? I'm losing my mind now. I am totally losing my mind.
That's how good the conversation is.
Anyway, I don't have a problem getting him if they can prove his neck injury is not real bad. If they don't give up a lot and Buffalo pays a major part of that salary, then I'm fine with it. I really am.
Now Buffalo's saying that they only pay $2 million of it.
Nope. I wouldn't pay him $8 million a year for the next 5 years.
Nope.
So again, he's 20. He's he'll be 25 next season.
Yep.
Okay.
He only played in 21 games this year, scored 2 goals, had 16 assists. So again, pretty pedestrian. But every other year, he scored 24. In 2015-16, he scored 24. 16-17, 24. 17-18, 25. 18-19, 28. And then 19-20, he scored 36 goals.
Yeah.
So at least there's some consistency, not at the 40-goal level, but.
Well, I know he's young and everything, but this puzzles me because a lot of Blues fans say they want him, give whatever you need to get him, so on and so forth. But at the same time, Vladimir Tarasenko, who's 7 years older at 31, he only played in 22 or 24 games this year, had 4 goals and 10 assists, and everybody wants him gone. So you want one guy that scored 2 goals and 16 assists because he's younger, but you want to get rid of a fan favorite who's proven for the last, since 2012, that he can score 25 to 40 goals a year. I don't understand that part of it.
But I got to stop you there. Is he a fan favorite?
He was a fan favorite.
He
was.
What? I mean, what is he now?
No, but see, when he came back, after 3 games of him being back, we're screwed. Tarasenko's terrible. Well, we need to trade him. He's no longer the player he used to be, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That's one thing I hate about Blues fans is that they love these muckers like Scotty Upshaw. I've had people tell me they would sign Scotty Upshaw today and get rid of Vladimir Tarasenko because they love Scotty Upshaw. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. No, and go ahead, bud.
Okay. There's a couple of things about this Eichel deal with the Blues and everything.
Okay, we're listening.
I know of for a fact that there's 2 contenders that will give, because Buffalo wants 4 first-round guys, whether it be first-round picks or first-round players that have played in the NHL. I know for a fact that the New York Rangers would do that, and I know for a fact that the Philadelphia Flyers would do that.
Yep.
And
would the Rangers give up Kaipo for him?
No, they'll give up Alexis.
They'll
give up Alexis Lafreniere.
Yeah, they would give him up.
Lafreniere is.
See, you know what? If I was now, here's what I'd say. That's a 1-for-1 in my eyes.
No.
Alexis,
you
guys are looking at this the wrong way.
I love you to death. And I think you're under evaluating Eichel a little bit.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
You are a little bit.
Wait a minute. Stop. Let's go look at the guys that are making $10 million. Go look at the guys that are making $10 million. In fact, look at the guy that was picked just before him, who's making $13 million. You figure 10 million under 13, that's what, about 30% less?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is Eichel 30% less than, only 30% less than McDavid? He's about 60% less than McDavid.
But Guy, McDavid, if he would have wanted to, he could have pushed it and he could have made Edmonton pay him $16-17 million a year. The media up there already knows that. He gave them a $3 or $4 million a year discount is what he basically did.
That's fine. I'm okay with that, and I see what you're saying. But all I'm saying is Jack Eichel is not worth the money he's getting.
Okay.
And everybody looks at the money he's getting and says, oh my goodness. If you look at his numbers, from when he came into the league and you compare them, they're comparable to guys in the $5 to $6 million range. I'm not under evaluating him. I'm actually evaluating him very fairly.
That's why I was saying I don't want the Blues getting him unless they'll pay for $4 or $5 million of his salary.
Well, that's why I say a guy like Lafayette is a 1-for-1, a number 1 overall pick for a number 2 overall pick.
Yeah.
No, Alexis Lafreniere had what? Let me pull up his stats real quick. Give me a second.
Oh, Montreal just scored.
Yes.
Boston just scored too.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Montreal, boo on Boston.
It was Pastrnak again.
Yeah, figures.
I can't stand that guy.
Oh, by the way, Monday I might have an Islanders fan on. Or Tuesday.
Nice.
Tuesday.
All
They
right.
play Monday, so Tuesday I'll have an Islanders fan, and I'm going to see if we can get Kate on, so we'll have a Boston fan, and we can talk about that series.
So you were talking about Alexis Lafreniere going 1-for-1, right?
Yeah.
Alexis Lafreniere in 56 games had 21 points and was a -7.
Okay, how many goals?
12.
12 goals. 12 goals.
9 assists.
9 assists. He had more points than Eichel did.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
but
Eichel was injured.
He was injured. I really don't count the last 2 COVID years a lot. I tend to look more past behind that.
What I'm saying is Eichel was picked in 5 years ago when he was 18.
Mm-hmm.
Lafayette is now 18 or 19.
19.
Right? He was just picked. He's at that same range as Eichel. And basically, I think he's worth right now as much as Eichel is. Everyone's looking at Eichel as a McDavid, and I'm going to turn my camera in a second, and he's not.
No, he's
That's
not.
what I'm trying to get. Well, but you can't value him as a McDavid, and everybody is.
Yeah, but guy.
No.
That's why I said if the Blues could get him at a $5 million, $6 million range and have Buffalo pay a salary, then I'd take him. Would I take him at that $5 million or $6 million if Buffalo paid $4? Yes, then to me he's worth it. But if the Blues have to pay that $10 million salary, then to me he's not worth it.
Okay, well, here's the other part of that. There's the other part of this. Is he worth 4 players?
No.
4-1.
No.
That's the other part of this that I'm trying to get at. He's not worth the 4-1. I'm not undervaluing him.
I'm
looking at exactly who he is and what he's been since he's been in the league. He played with Ryan O'Reilly for 2 years. 2 years, if I'm right. 2 or 3 years. Got nothing out of it. O'Reilly comes here for 1 year and wins 4 trophies. O'Reilly is worth 4 players. Eichel's not.
Yeah. Brock, you're thinking. What are you thinking, bud?
Well, I'm looking at some of the contracts here on Eichel and just trying to see what the costs were, and actually just was looking at who are some of the top names out there that are kind of that going to be available. And number one, Eichel wasn't in kind of. I shouldn't say that these are guys that will be available. At one point I had one list, so it was just kind of interesting to see what these guys are going. They had Jaden Schwartz at $5.3 million. I thought that was on cap friendly. I thought that's a little too much, man.
That was too much. When they signed him, Brock, I said he should have went for about 3.8 or 4, but they got too excited when they had him in the playoffs that year. That was Schwartz. He's making 5.3.
Jaden Schwartz.
Yeah, I always thought when they did that he should have made about 3.8 to 4.
Was that from the 16 season?
I think it's 15 or 16.
Yeah, 15-16 when they went to
that.
Yeah. So basically, Alex Ovechkin is at a $10 million salary. And then Ryan Getzlaf, Taylor Hall, Tuukka Rask, and Paul Stastny are the top 6 that are kind of out there.
Well, hey, Guy, can I tell you this? And I don't know if you want to get on another subject. Hall has made it known to people personally that he's wanting $10 to $11 million if a team expects him to sign long term. But he is willing to take lower for 1 year here, 1 year there, so on and so forth. It doesn't matter to him. But if a team wants him long term, he wants around $11 million. And I'm going to tell you right now, I would rather have Eichel than Taylor Hall any day of the week.
Okay, that's fair.
Taylor Hall's
think
an $8 million hit. Taylor Hall takes, that's what he's making right now. $8 million.
Yeah, he made 8. He did that 1 year deal, but he's also said he wants to stay in Boston.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
But here, you say that, but Hall was in Buffalo. Hall was in Buffalo with Eichel. Did Eichel's numbers go up? No.
Well, okay. Again, I I love you,
Jim,
dude.
you gotta
but
shut up, man. I can't see it. There you go.
I can't do it anymore. Eichel was injured the entire season. He played 21 games. Of course he's not going to play well with Taylor Hall when he was there for 1 year. Because Hall wasn't even on his line. He had Skinner on his line.
Yep, Jeff Skinner. Yep.
And Skinner was a healthy scratch most of the damn season.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough.
So, Eichel, okay, yes, Eichel is not worth 4 players. Eichel is worth 2 players and 2 draft picks.
No, that's 4 players. That's 4 players. No, he's not worth that. That's what I'm trying to get at. The 4 in this is not. He's not worth that. 2 maybe.
Well, here's the way
the most.
Here's the way I look at draft picks. Okay, those 2 draft picks that people want, those 2 that they want, 2 first-round draft picks. Okay, you don't know, like I said, what you're getting in the first round. You could get a 25th pick, a 21st pick, a 17th pick, whatever. Let's say those picks turn out to be between 17 and 20. Okay, it's going to take a guy like that anywhere from 2 to 4, sometimes 5, but anywhere from 2 to 4 years to make a contribution. In the meantime, you would have Jack Eichel helping you there those 4 years to get you to a cup or to make you better. Do you want to win right now and make a trade, or do you want to count on trying to make some of these players? It's like, I like Robert Thomas, but Robert Thomas is good. I don't know if he'll ever be great like the Blues said. If you guys remember, when John Davidson was here, we were fed a line of crap, and I love John. I've talked to him personally. He's a great guy, and we were told Perron, Oshie, and Berglund were going to be top tier, top 1, top 2 line players, and Oshie wasn't until he left.
Well,
Berglund's no longer in the league. Perron is still a good player, but it took him years to mature and to go away from the Blues to become a good player.
Right.
Fair enough. You know, and I'm with you. I am with you, but just again, you can't sell me on Eichel. And maybe, you know, and here's what I got a suggestion. I got a really good suggestion, because I'm working on a piece about why the Blues should not go after Eichel. I'd like Lance to work with Brock and do a piece to go with mine about why the Blues should pick or trade for Eichel. Let's have the 2 competing pieces.
The one thing that I see out of this, you know, you want to go for
work
Eichel.
With that, man.
You want to go for everybody wants the Blues to go for Eichel. But what does Ryan O'Reilly think of this? He's the team captain. He played with Jack.
Yeah.
What is Ryan O'Reilly
I honestly don't know.
Honestly,
I don't remember who it was, but about a week or 2 ago, somebody asked Ryan O'Reilly what type of player Jack Eichel was or is. And he made a very politically correct statement. Oh, he's a good player. He's, you know, he cares about the team, blah, 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 blah. It was very politically correct. It wasn't, and I know you got to be careful with tampering and stuff, but it wasn't, man, he's a great player. Any team would love to have him. It was nothing like that. And, you know, I would think if Ryan really liked him, and which I don't think he does, if he would come out and say, hey, he's a great young player, one of the best young players in the league, any team would be fortunate to have Jack Eichel. And he didn't say anything close to that.
Well, the other thing I'm looking at is this, okay? You bring in Jack Eichel, you remove Thomas, you pay the price that the Sabres want. If you're paying that kind of money, depending on what the Sabres are actually going to cover and the Blues are going to have to cover, you're looking at Eichel's young. Don't you see O'Reilly as thinking that, well, they're just going to replace me as captain?
No,
I don't think so.
He's got 4 more years, 3 or 4 more years on his deal.
I don't think O'Reilly thinks that way. Even if they brought in a captain from another team, I don't think O'Reilly would think that way.
Okay.
I'm with you on that one.
I mean,
too.
What do you think, Brock? Am I right here?
I like Ryan O'Reilly. Okay,
Yeah.
let me just say that because you can't ever say anything against the guy or else people think you're a damn Blues hater. But again, there's a reason why Buffalo gave up on him. There's a reason why they moved him out, okay? There's a reason why it didn't work out in Colorado with the guy. What are those reasons? I think that sometimes Blues fans are supposed to be just taking him just on blind faith. Hey, he got screwed. Well, wait a minute. Maybe something happened there that made him not a good teammate. Maybe something that happened there is something that might have come out this season with the Blues, that he wasn't good at motivating guys or bringing guys along. I don't know. I don't know the man.
No, actually.
Hey, Jeremy. I know you wanted to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I'm hoping that you know what really happened in Colorado.
I don't know what happened in Colorado, but I know what happened in Buffalo.
All right.
Yeah, I know.
I wrote about it in the article. Buffalo, O'Reilly wanted more money, and Botterill said no. Pegula said no.
Yeah.
And Ryan's like, well, if you're not going to give me more money, send me the hell out. And that's what they did. And they sent him out for Thompson and Berglund and all these guys. And the only guy that's still on the Sabres is Thompson.
And basically what happened in Colorado was similar. They had some young guys coming up, and they knew that Ryan was going to ask for some decent money and in a contract coming up. And so they moved him.
Should the Blues have signed him then? Do you think the Blues should have signed him? Did they
absolutely.
Yeah. I don't think they overpaid for him, because Sobotka's no longer in the league. Berglund's no longer in the league. Tage Thompson's barely been in the league 50% of the time over the last 3 or 4 years. Yeah. So I think it was, even if he was half the player he is, I would say it was a better deal than to have those players they got rid of.
How about this? You know why O'Reilly? There's one simple reason why O'Reilly thrived here and he didn't thrive in those two places. He has a work ethic that is old school, 100% old school. Mm-hmm. And those other two teams were young players who, generation millennial or whatever it is, didn't like his style of let's work until we're dead. He came here to a veteran team. He wasn't the only veteran out there helping the young guys. Yeah, Angelo was out there with them. Parashenko was out there with them. He had that veteran support to be that workaholic, and that's why it worked here.
He definitely rubbed the guys in Buffalo the wrong way, because just like he is here, he was first on the ice before practice, was last off the ice after practice, and he would say things to other guys, hey, you want to be successful, you've got to do things like this. And some of those guys, even veterans, did not like him telling them that.
He even spoke to Jack when he first came into the league and said, if you want to be a star center, you better work your tail off, because if you don't, you're going to be a flop.
Yeah.
And you say that to the poster boy. You say that to the number one pick, the guy who's supposed to turn the franchise around. Oh, that's a bad idea, Ryan. Don't do that, Ryan.
No, it was a great. But see, this is the Ryan. This is the other reason that I'm so against the Eichel. Is because if he didn't like O'Reilly's work ethic then, when O'Reilly wasn't the captain, how's he going to like it now when O'Reilly is the captain?
I'm hoping that Doug Armstrong, if he's really considering it, and I think Doug's a smart person. If I'm Doug Armstrong, I've already been to talk to O'Reilly before he even approached Buffalo and said, listen, I'm thinking about trading for this kid. What do you think? Give me your honest opinion between me and you. It stays between me and you. It doesn't go to their side. It stays right here. Tell me right now, and I will almost guarantee you Doug Armstrong's has already done that. I'll be shocked if he hasn't.
Well, and I want to bring something. God, what a great time to bring this up. So laying on the couch today after I got up, they had the movie Draft Day on. And love that was first of all, it was a very underrated movie.
Yeah, it was a good
Second
movie.
of all,
it was a good movie.
Very good movie, very underrated. But there was one thing that I realized in that was so important. And the GM, every time a player went to the GM, he told them to F off. You don't come to me. I'm your boss. You don't come to me. Right? So Armstrong has that air of superiority about him. So wouldn't that make you worry that he wouldn't go?
No, because it's going the other way. When Armstrong needs something from a player,
he'll come.
He would go to them. He doesn't want them coming to him. He wants them going to Berube. But just like any CEO and any vice president, you want your workers to go to the vice president of your division. You don't want them going to the CEO or COO.
Yeah. Okay.
But if Armstrong wants something, you better believe he's going to go ask one of the players. He'll probably have Berube in on it to talk about it, because I don't think Armstrong's, like I said, he's not stupid. He's not my favorite guy because I've tried to talk to him several times, and
I know
he's
we
brushed
talked
me
about
off.
that.
And I will always love John Davidson more than Doug Armstrong, because John Davidson always would spend time talking to me. But anyway,
but I just hope John Davidson can do something in Columbus, because he's been a GM now 4 times and he's had 0 success.
John's going to do something in Columbus. He's going to turn that team around.
He's been a GM in Detroit, right? Wasn't he in Detroit for a while?
Columbus.
You want Columbus?
He was Columbus twice.
New York.
He was
New York and St. Louis.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure he was in Detroit. I might be wrong. I might be mixing him up.
Yeah, that's Kenny Holland. That's not
Kenny Holland was in Detroit.
No, he was not in Detroit.
No, there was another big player, somebody of Davidson's name style that was in Detroit for a while that failed.
Hey, I got a question I want to bring up real quick, if I may, because we're getting kind of tight on time here, and it's kind of for my man the Fox.
All right.
So, Kaprizov sent home last night. What do the Wild need to be good again next year, man? And I'll just open it up I'll hang up and listen, as they say.
Yeah.
Okay. The Wild really, they don't need much. They did really good in this series against Vegas, and nobody expected it. Kaprizov, he didn't do as much as he did in the playoff or in the regular season, but Parise, they got to get him out of there. As much as I love Zach, he's a good veteran player. He's not fitting in Minnesota.
He's way past his prime. He just really is.
He would be a good veteran to bring in to the Kraken for locker room experience, but obviously the Kraken aren't going to go after.
Not with that money,
Zach
no.
Parise. The other thing is, if they haven't yet, they need to re-sign Cam Talbot to a long-term contract, because if they don't, as much as I love Kaapo Kakkonen, Talbot's your guy. Talbot showed he was your guy.
Did you ever think you'd be saying that 2 years ago?
I know, really.
Well, see, I think this: you sign Talbot to a 1-year deal, because Kakkonen's your future, and he needs that time. He needs that time in net.
I would give Talbot anywhere from 2 to 3 years, and tell him, hey, listen, this is the way it is. You are our guy right now. You will be our guy for the next 2 years, and he's going to eventually take over. He just is. But we want you to be our guy, and this is the way we're going to do it. We want to treat you right. We're going to pay you what you should be paid, and I will guarantee you, Cam Talbot will make $5.5 to $6 million a year.
I'm with that.
I'm looking at Cap Friendly right now to see who's all on their way out in Minnesota. Marcus Johansson, Nick Bonino, Nick Bukestad, Kyle Rao, Joseph Caramosa, Luke Johnson, Ian Cole, Brad Hunt, Dakota Murmis, and Louis Belpedo.
You know the thing? Brad Hunt's like a cockroach. He's always around, and you can't get him out of the NHL because he's got that talent to where he's just good enough and he's fast enough to where he just keeps going around. But anyway.
Yeah. And
well, hey, guys, we're right at that time. We got about 2 minutes left. So I want to give you each a quick time. Hey, Monday, don't forget. Monday, you got to be ready. We're talking centers, right? We're going to break down the Blues and their centers. We're going to look at I want you guys to think about centers they could bring in, centers they could trade for. Eichel, obviously, we're going to talk more about him, but we're talking centers. On Tuesday, we're going to talk left wingers.
Toronto.
Monday, right wingers. Say again.
Toronto just scored, buddy.
They just scored finally. There we go. About time. Yep. Oh, nice goal too. Oh, nice goal. We're going to talk about Monday centers, Tuesday left wingers, Wednesday right wingers, Thursday and Friday is defense, and then Saturday is goalies and management, right? Coaching, goalies and coaching. Because you could put goalies. I mean, we're not going to talk a lot about goalies, really. We're kind of set.
You're pretty
right?
set on the goaltenders.
Yeah, we're set there, but and we've got some good stuff into
2 shows. You know what? We might end up breaking it into 2 shows if we start having a lot of discussion, and we might do the coaching. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Can I say one thing?
But that's kind of one of the. And I forgot this. Next Friday. Remember, I had that the door prizes from April and May. Well, we haven't given them out yet. Next Friday, at the end of the show, we're going to go about 15, 20 minutes over. I'm going to give those away live.
Nice.
Right? I'm going to put them in my thing. We'll pick them right here. I got to get with Roland and make sure that he's good to go. But we're going to give them away live. Right? So, hey, everybody, this is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan.
Lance,
well, actually, I can't do this real quick.
I want to say something real quick.
Lance, go ahead.
I respect all you guys, and I know some people online see us arguing a lot. I don't consider it arguing. My family grew up arguing. I considered it a discussion.
Absolutely.
And Brock and Guy. And another thing, and this goes out to that certain person, and I know they watch the show. I will never call any of these guys a liar, because if they tell me a fact's a fact, the fact's a fact.
Yeah. I get you, man. And we don't worry about that.
Right.
Brock, what you got going, bud?
Well, again, just watching these games, just exciting. Want to again put a shout out to all the men and women who put their lives on the line through the military and even those with public service. I know you're going to get to that, but have a lot of respect for all those folks, and I love you guys.
Okay, Jeremy.
I actually am working on a article for the Penguins in their off season, and I've got it done. I just got to piece it together and then get it approved. But
get it to Brock.
Yeah.
Well, if you can get online, put it online and let me know, and then I'll get it to Brock.
Okay.
Because Brock can't get online for some reason.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, hey, first of all, this is Memorial Day weekend. Please take a moment to think about those who lost their lives. And I know a lot of people, I even got somebody put this in me, just because Memorial Day isn't just for those who lost, it's for those like us who grieve for those, right? I really want people to understand that Memorial Day is tough for me. I have a lot of shipmates and classmates that I've buried from their service, and it's not easy to think about them during this period. So while Memorial Day is for them, it is also for those who survived them and have to go on living without them. And please respect that. Please respect that.
Guilt. It's called survivor's guilt, isn't it, man?
A little bit, a little bit. And I'm sure, Brock, you feel it a little bit.
I do.
So this is, so when, and that's why I don't say happy Memorial Day, because it's not a happy day, but it's I always say, enjoy your weekend. I just kind of leave it, enjoy your Memorial Day weekend, and leave it at that, because it's not a complete happy time. But you know what, guys? Today is one of the better shows, because we had good, solid topics that we talked about that are going to help the site, they're going to help this channel, and help each one of us. We are coming together. And Lance, I'm serious about that. Work on a pro Eichel, and I'm going to work on the anti Eichel, and I'd like to release them together, say Tuesday or Wednesday at the latest.
I don't know if I can work with that guy below me.
I'm sure you two can work just fine. Right?
I'll tell you what.
Because you know what, guys?
I'll work my editor's magic and make that thing published, man.
Yeah. Well, you know what, guys? We absolutely love you. Thank you so much. This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan. For War Stories Coffee, Mike Zook Enterprises, and Forrest Crump for the Crumpy guy up there, Enterprises. I'm Guy, and you got to know I'm bleeding blue at you, and I cannot wait to see you again on Monday's BlueNote Fan Report. Aloha and mahalo, and I'll see you on the next BlueNote Fan Report. Aloha.